Naila, why is English language important to learn?
This is because English language is an international language and is widely followed and understood by people across the world.
I want to learn this language.
To learn every language, there are some skills to develop. Follow this class to learn these skills.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We welcome you on MTA Africa. We shall be looking at the English language for the junior high school. The basic school English language syllabus is made of the preschool, the primary, the junior high as well. But our concentration shall be on the junior high school. We need to look at, first of all, the rationale and the general aims for the English language, as far as the JHS designs for us. The English language plays a vital role in the national life of most nations, for which Ghana is part. And therefore, in Ghana, it is the official language for use, as we have it in every aspect of our life. It is also the language of government and commerce. And then the administration of the country as well. For example, when we want to do anything at all, we go to all ministries, it is the English language we use. All our documentation is in the English language. Contracts are written in the English language. It is also the language of commerce and the learned professions. What we mean by the learned professions is we have teachers, that is what teachers use. We have lawyers, that is what the lawyers use. We have doctors. When you go to hospital, it is the English language that the doctor communicates with you. All other workers within the hospital, is the same English language that they communicate with you. At the media, that's the most widely used language as well, though we do have the various local languages too in place. As an international language, it is the most widely used language on the internet. So when we are looking for things or making a research, we do it mostly in the English language. Beyond the lowest levels of education, for example in Ghana, the lower primary and the preschool, from upper primary upwards, it is the English language that is used as a medium of instruction. So teachers speak in classrooms to pupils in the English language. Exercises are written in the English language. And then communication and every aspect of teaching and learning takes place in the English language. It's also the means of success in one's education, because all the exams we write them in the English language. The basic school certificate examination that we write, it is in the English language. The West Africa Examination Council examinations we write, the WASI, it is in the English language. When you go to the tertiary, all your semester examinations are all conducted in the English language. So it becomes very important for everyone to learn it and become proficient in its usage. It is for these and other reasons that the English language is a major subject of study in our Ghanaian schools. So when you are a student in Ghana, you need to pay a very critical attention to the subject. The syllabus is designed in a way that it helps us to overcome certain issues. And that's why we need to look at it first of all. One, it is developed in a way that as a learner of the subject, we develop the listening skills, we develop speaking skills, we develop reading and writing skills. These are skills as a student, when you are learning, you need to develop them. So our lessons shall concentrate on those areas as well. The aim of the syllabus is also to help students attain a high proficiency in the English language, so that the child can study other subjects successfully. Other subjects like, let's have some of the subjects we study in schools. Yeah, French.
Science.
Good. So all these subjects at the highest levels, we are going to learn them through the English language. It is also the aim of the syllabus that we are able to cultivate the habit of reading and also have an interest in it, which these days is becoming a very big challenge to most of us because students these days don't like to read. So it is expected that teachers who handle this subject in the schools help students cultivate the habit of reading and also develop the love for it. When we are able to do this, then it helps one to be able to communicate effectively in the language. When we talk of communicate effectively, we mean you should be able to speak very well, and you should also be able to write in it as well. In the same manner, when someone speaks, you should be able to understand. And when something is also reading and you read, you should also be able to make meaning out of it. The syllabus covers certain areas to enable us cover these skills. And the areas include section 1 of the syllabus helps one to be able to listen and speak very well. So we shall be learning things that will help us to listen very well and also be able to speak very well. We shall also be looking at the grammar aspect. The grammar concerns itself with the language structure, the rules governing the language. The rules governing the language, that's the grammar structure there, so we shall be looking at that. And then the section 3 of the syllabus also look at reading. It looks at reading so that we are able to develop very good reading skills. Then the reading also includes silent reading. Silent reading is taught at the lowest level. Up to the highest level, you should be able to know how to read silently and make meaning out of whatever you read. Then we shall also be looking at reading aloud. That is where you read to the hearing of your audience, people around you. And then we shall also be looking at reading comprehension, which is part of the English language test at the basic school level when you are writing your basic school certificate examination. At the SS level too, it's also used. Reading comprehension is a component of the test of the language that we sit for. Then we shall also be looking at summary writing. The summary writing also is used widely from the JHS level to the tertiary level. And then the section 4 of the syllabus looks at composition. When we talk of composition, we are talking about narrative writing, your ability to observe things in the society and narrate them. We shall also look at descriptive, our ability to describe things we see around us, objects, and things in general. And then letter writing, which will be, by the time we finish the basic school, we should be able to write good letters. And we shall be learning the various forms of letters as well. And then what is known as a guided summary, where you read an item and then you'll be required to summarize what you have read into a meaningful statement as required in the full write-up. Then the section 5 looks at the literature or library work. This day, the literature is being tested at the basic level. It started 2017, that was last year. Candidates who sat for the basic certificate examination wrote literature component of it, and it shall continue so that pupils are able to grasp enough knowledge on that. The literature is made of the prose. We shall look at that in details when we get there. Drama and the poetry. We'll look at all this in details in this series. Now let's look at our first lesson for today on our channel MTA Africa. Our first lesson is under grammar, and that is on noun. So we shall look at nouns and others. Our lesson objectives. It is the aim of this lesson that at the end of it, students will be able to, one, explain in their own words. You should be able to explain in your own words the meaning of a noun as a word class. 2, the people should be able to give at least 3 differences between a common and a proper noun. And 3, the people should be able to identify common and proper nouns in text. So these are our main objectives that shall guide us as we present this lesson or as we learn. So let's look at, first of all, noun meaning. Before I try to explain, let's find out from our student and probably the audience at home what a noun is. Yes, Ochad, what's a noun?
A noun is the name of a person, place, or thing.
Okay, that's the basis of it. Let's have Josefa also giving us.
A noun is the name of a person, a place, thing, or idea.
Anyone with different meaning. Okay, so now let's look at. When we talk of a noun, we say it refers to group of entities such as humans, animals, objects, institutions, actions, abstract ideas, qualities, phenomena, and emotions. These are groups. Each one, for example, when we look at human beings, we have several lists there, a lot we can list. So any grouping under this is a noun. Then when we come to animals, to any groupings under this is a noun. Objects as well, institutions and actions. So when we talk of noun, the list is endless. The list is endless. Nouns keep adding. We don't have limits to nouns at all. Unlike other word classes, we may have limit to them, but when it comes to nouns, the limit is endless. Good. We'll try to identify the groups the various grouping in each of these areas we have mentioned, just a few of them. We also say that a noun refers to naming words, just as you mentioned. You said it's a name of what? A person, a place, or what? A thing. Good. So when we talk of nouns, we're also saying that it refers to naming words. And what we're also saying that in concrete sense, when we say concrete sense, what does it mean? What comes to mind? When we say something is concrete, what comes to mind? Nazir.
Like, in actual sense, like how we understand a noun.
When we say something is concrete, what comes to mind? Yes, anyone in the class? When we say something is concrete, we have concrete and abstract. So when we say something is concrete, what comes to mind? Okay, when we talk of something is concrete, it simply means something we can easily see and what? Touch. Something you can easily what? See and what? Touch. It's concrete. It's real. You can easily see it and touch it. So we say that in concrete sense, anything around us is what? A noun. Anything around us is a noun. So when we look around, what are the things we see around us? We mention one after that, starting from our chart, yes? Okay.
Tables.
Yes?
Human beings. Cameras. Laptop.
Okay. These are some of the things we can see. Good. We'll say in abstract sense, that is what we cannot easily see and touch. There are certain things we can't easily see and touch. And that we say, in that case, noun refers to anything one thinks of. Right? You can't see, you can't touch, but you think of something. Now refers to such things. So let's see some of the things that we mostly think of that we may not be able to touch or see them, but we think of them. Yes, Josefa?
Love.
Love, good. Speak up so that others can hear you.
Flying.
Flying. Okay,
Harmony. Harmony.
good. These are things probably we think of, but we can't actually touch. Good. Let's look at the examples we try identifying. Under human beings, we have examples like Sylvester, Senior, Mr. Brown, Dr. Ampofo, Mrs. Lar. These are just examples of what? Nouns. Then under animals, we have parrot, monkey, sparrow, goat, bull, cow, and then lion. And then under institutions, we have like University of Ghana, Ghana Water Company, Muslim Television Ahmadiyya, MTA, Tema General Hospitals. These are institutions. We have more than that. Then under objects, we have examples of those you mentioned: table, we have chair, we have stone, laptop, key, and then what? Camera. And then under actions, we have laughter, swimming, jumping. We shall look at details of that in our next slide. But having mentioned this, I want you as students to give me more examples outside what I've mentioned. Let's come to human beings. Let's have more examples of the human beings.
Vincent.
Okay. Yes?
Joseph.
Joseph, good. I can't hear you. Okay. Now we have some examples that may be of concern to students. Laughter. We say the laughter ended when Akoto entered. So here, laughter is used as a noun. Is used as a noun. That's an action someone is performing. In this case, it is not a verb. As some of you define verbs to be an action word, this one is a noun. When she was young, she enjoyed swimming. Swimming here is used as a noun and not a verb. The swimming is a very good exercise. Here, the swimming here is also a noun and not an action as in verb. It's a noun. These are examples of actions used as nouns. Matthew likes jumping. Here, jumping here is a noun. So such words like these that act as nouns are also there. And as we learn, we'll discover more of them and we'll explain them further. We're saying that one clue to know that these are nouns is you try changing them with nouns you already know. You can replace them with nouns that you already know and you realize that it works. That's one clue to knowing that these words are nouns. We are continuing with our examples. And the abstract ideas, we have togetherness. You can't see, but you have an idea. When we say togetherness, we know what it is. Then laws. Laws are not things we can easily see them and touch, but we know every institution has its own laws. Then equity, being fair to people. These are ideas that we cannot really see and touch. Then under qualities, we have like beauty, calmness, intelligence. These are things that we can't also easily touch. We cannot touch, but we can feel them. We can realize their existence, but you can't touch them. And then under emotions, anger, hate, love, affection. These are also things that we can't easily see them, but we can feel them. We can see those things acted out. When someone is angry, you can see. But the anger itself, you cannot actually touch. Good. Now let's look at types of nouns that our objective stated. We shall be looking at common and proper noun. Good. Under common nouns, we have that a common noun names general things. When we talk of common noun, general things, name referring to general things, is a common noun. We also say it refers to any general form of a noun. We say one prominent feature of a common noun is its ability to have contrast. The contrast here we are referring to number contrast, and that is having both singular and the plural word forms. Every common noun, most common nouns have singular and plural form. Because of this, we are able to have count and uncount forms of common nouns. So the count form of a common noun we can easily have, and we can also easily have uncount forms of a common noun. Examples, we have book, which is singular, tables being plural, shoe, goat, boys, girl, schools, and then what? Woman. Some are plural, some are singular, to let us understand that these are general names. When we say book, which book? We can't tell. It's a book, it's general. When we say table or tables, we don't know which specific table it is. So all these are common. Goats, boys, all these are general names. So we say they are common nouns. Now let's look at proper nouns. Under proper noun, we say that proper nouns refer to class of specific names. This one specific word name. So when we pick a boy, we are referring to a specific word boy. If we say girls, we are referring to what? A specific word girl. We say that proper noun clearly names a specific entity. You must specifically be able to identify the thing it names. When you are able to do that, it becomes a proper noun. We say proper nouns generally have their initials to be what? In capitals. The first letter of proper noun is in capital. Examples we shall look at. We have languages as English and American. All these start in capital letters. We have personal names. See that they all start in capital letters. Sam, James. Then we have geographical names. Canada, Tokyo, Togo, Accra. All start in capital letter. Then objects and commercial products like Voyager, Mercedes, Toyota. These are commercial products we buy. Then holidays, months, and the days of the week. When we are writing them, they are proper nouns. It's for a specific day or specific month. So you write them in capital. You start with capital letter. Then religious followers of a particular religion and some religious concept, they are proper nouns. So when you are writing, the initial is capital. So Buddhism, capital B, and the rest as well. Family members address like father, mother, specific father, specific mother, specific uncle. When you are writing, you start with capital. Then we say bodies with a unique public function, like we say the Queen. We know who we are referring to. When we say the President of Ghana, we know who we are referring to. If we say the Parliament House of Ghana, we know which Parliament House we are referring to. So all this, when you are writing them, it must start in capital. Then at times we use adjectives. And these adjectives could be from proper nouns. In such cases, the adjective should start in capital letter. So like Marxist, Maxim, Victorian, then Chromais, Doctor. We say the don't call tradition. a New Yorker. These are adjectives, but the adjectives are derived from what? Proper nouns. So when you are writing them, you start in capital letter. Then we have public buildings, institutions. Example, like Ghana Commercial Bank is a public building. So you see the initials, each in capital. We have the Public Procurement Act. Public Procurement Act. And then as the others also appear. Then political parties. These are specific political parties. So when you are writing them, you write them in the initial being capital, New Patriotic Party. Then National Democratic Congress. You see the initials. Good. Then to summarize our lesson, what we looked at first is the meaning of a noun. We also looked at types of noun, common and what? Proper noun. Then we look at general terms. Then we also look at proper noun. We say proper noun names given to specific things. And their initials are in what? Capitals. Good. If you have any question, you can ask. Good. If no question, we leave you with an exercise to go and try on. And that is, you are to identify the various sketches that we shall display and write their names out. And in writing their names, try to put them into tabular form, whether it is proper or common noun. We have the first picture. We have the second picture. Third, fourth, fifth. So we try to identify the names. You are not drawing the pictures, but you are identifying the names. And then you tabulate your answer as proper or common noun. Thank you. We shall wrap the lesson for today and hope to meet you next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.